Hey everyone, and welcome to my TED Talk. Um, my Genius Hour portfolio these past 5 weeks revolved around healthy eating and my personal ability to cut out complex carbs and sugars from my diet. So that included everything from sugary snacks, pasta, lasagna, anything really that's not organic or comes from the ground or extremely healthy, let's say. Um, with that, it really tested my mental and my physical ability throughout these past 5 weeks because coming from an Italian family, we eat very carb heavy diets. And what I mean by that is 6 out of the 7 dinners you eat in a week might have some sort of pasta in it or some carb heavy meal. My reasons for embarking on this difficult journey were 3 reasons. The first reason was to test myself and to see if I still had the mental capacity and the mental composure to do something like this. I didn't think I had it in me, but I'm the type of person who needs to be challenged, and I did challenge myself throughout this. The second reason was for me personally to get off a little bit of a fitness setback that I've been on for the past 2 years. Um, 3 years ago, I suffered a knee injury while playing soccer, and that kept me out of the game. I play provincially, kept me out for about 6 months, and I became very stationary. Right after rehabilitating my knee for those 6 months, I retore my meniscus again, and I was out for another 4 to 6 weeks. They actually took out the meniscus the second time. What I realized throughout that time was that I couldn't get away with eating the way I was before because I became very stationary. And it was one of those things where previously I could eat whatever I wanted and still get away with working out 5 times a week and keeping in tip top shape. And that steadily declined as I got farther and farther away from my surgery. The third reason was in the past few years, both my parents have been diagnosed with diabetes, and I've seen the mental and the physical toll that that can take on a person's body. So I took it upon myself to prove to them that an Italian like our family, or Italians like our family, could live in um, or could have uh, diets that aren't so carb heavy and that leave you sluggish and tired throughout the day. It was pretty hard at first, and it took a lot of time convincing my parents. Probably took 2 weeks before they fully got on board with what I was doing. Um, but I had shown my mom. I took the initiative to cook for myself, and I said, if you don't want to do this with me, by all means, you guys don't have to. But I'm not going to be eating what you guys eat at the dinner table, and it kind of struck a chord with them. So gradually and gradually, I got my parents to start eating what I was eating, cut out cheese, cut out bread for a week, cut out pasta for a few meals a week, and it did make a noticeable difference in our lives. The outcome of my research and my challenge was a weight loss of 10 pounds. And I weighed myself every 3 days. And I also checked my blood pressure, and I saw my blood pressure at first dropped quite a bit, probably due to the sugar restrictions that I placed on my body, but it did normalize again, and I have perfect blood pressure according to my doctor. And I'm really happy right now with where I am, and especially with the weight loss. And I'm gonna keep it up. I mean, everyone keeps asking me if I'm gonna continue this after it's done, and I said, why not? I mean, there's no reason for me to not continue something that's been so successful. And if I can do it for 5 to 6 weeks at a time, who's to say I can't do it for a year or 2 years or for the rest of my life? And that's not to say that I'm gonna restrict myself forever, but only have a few cheat meals a month and go from there. Um, to be successful, I created food journals, and I was scouring the internet for all sorts of information, such as um, different foods and foods that aren't carb restricted, or that are carb restrictive, and don't need me to rely on the carbs so much. And if they do need carbs, to find other ways to eat them, such as instead of having noodles in your pasta, I made zucchini noodles, which is, it still supplies my body with carbohydrates, but having zucchini noodles instead of regular pasta goes a long way to keeping the body healthy. Um, I'm really happy with where I am, and the most important message that I want to give to you guys is that anything is possible, and with the right mindset, you can go anywhere with it. I just needed a push from school, and I guess having myself being graded on how successful I was played a big role in determining how successful I am. Thanks, and have a good day, everyone. Good luck with the rest of your school year, and you always have to remember to reward yourself when you're successful. And I rewarded myself with one of my favorite movies of all times, a little prop. This is what we call here a lightsaber, and I'm sure everyone can appreciate this because I'm in love with it. And with that, I bid adieu. Have a good day.